So InDesign is used for creating posters, boards, portfolios, books, magazine, presentations, etc. It helps you organize and lay out your information, which is crucial for a design student. So when you open up InDesign, you will have a window like this, and to create a new document, you can click on Document. This window will pop up, and from there you can choose the size of your paper by changing the width and the height. However, you'll realize that the unit is in points, and in order to change it to inches, you can just write your measures and then add inches behind. So 17.5 inches. And you can change the orientation of your paper. If you want spreads, you can click facing pages. And if you do decide to create spreads, what that means is that when you'll open your document, your first page will be like a book cover, and the following pages will be facing each other so that you can use both of them as your layout page. You can choose the number of pages you want, and over here you can change the margins, and the smallest amount that you should put is 1/4 of an inch. When you're done, you can click OK, and that will give you a new document. You can also open a new document by clicking File, New, and Document, and that same window will pop up. If you want to add pages, you can click on Layout, Pages, and Add Page, and that will give you a second page. You can also insert pages by clicking Layout, Page, and Insert Pages, and from there you can choose the amount of pages you want to add, but also the positions of the pages you want to add. So here I have 4 pages. In order to import a picture to your document, you can click on File, Place, and you can choose a picture. You place the picture by clicking on it. Okay. In order to view your pages, you can click on Window, Pages. And that will give you the layout of your pages, so you can navigate from one to the other easily. And from this toolbar, you can also add or delete pages easily by clicking here on Create New Page to add a page. Or you can delete a page by clicking on the little trash can over here, and whichever page is selected will be deleted. You can also create a master page. The master page is useful when you want the same information to appear on every single page. So let's say you would click text. In order to insert the text, you can click on the T and create a box, and from there you can write inside. To modify the font and the size of the text, you can go over here for the font, and for the size over here. You can also change the color of your text by highlighting it, and then over here choosing a color. And if the color you need is not there, you can also click on the little T over here, and from there you can change the color. You can also center your text, or align left, align right. Now if I create this text on the master page, it will be applied to every single other page that I click on. If you click on an image and the autofit over here is not checked off, the blue box will be used to crop and delimit the boundaries of the image. If you click on the circle, there will be a brown box. And the brown box will be used to scale the image up and down within the boundary of the blue box. Now if autofit is checked, to scale you will only need the blue box. When scaling up and down, make sure to hold shift in order to keep the ratio of your image. You can also scale a drawing down by the amount of percentage you want. If I want this drawing to be 50% of what it is now in size, I click 50% and it will scale it down to 50%. So the scaling is over here. If you want to scale an image and keep the same ratio, you can hold the shift key and that will keep the same ratio for your image. Now, as I previously stated, InDesign is also used to create layouts for portfolios or for presentations. And for example, if I want to align this with this, I can use guidelines. And for that, I would click on Layout, Create Guides, and add the amount of rows and the amount of columns, and add how many inches I want them to be apart from the edges. You can also create guidelines by clicking on the ruler and sliding it to where you need it to be. So if I want to align this to this, I can just follow the guideline and put my text over here. And same goes for this. Now if you see that you have too many guidelines, you can always right click and click on grids and guides and hide your guides and create new guides. You can also click on the guides and delete them if you don't need them. Most likely the guides will help you for your presentation in order to have everything aligned so that it looks neater. For example, over here, I know that I want to add a text. However, I don't know what this text will be. I could fill it in with a placeholder. For that, I would click on Type, Fill with Placeholder Text, and that would give me a placeholder text, depending on how big the box is. And that's really useful before you actually have the text you plan to put on it. You can play with the transparency of images or text by changing the percentage of the transparency over here. The lowest it will be, the more transparent your image will be, and the highest it will be, the clearer your image will be. So for example, if I want to change that to 50%, you'll see that my image gets more transparent. If you change the transparency, you'll see that anything you put underneath will be visible as well. You'll see that when you import your image into InDesign, it won't be clear and it will be very pixelated. And that is because it takes less space for it to be that way. But if you want to see it how it will actually be, you can click on Shift W and that will bring you to another page where it'll be more clear. You can also go on View, Display Performance, and High Quality Display. And that'll show you how it will actually be. You can also go on View, Screen Mode, and Presentation. And from there you can zoom in, zoom out to see how your images will look once they're actually printed. To leave this page, you click on Escape, and that will bring you back to your initial page. InDesign uses links, contrary to other programs, so that means that it uses the location of the file in order to recognize it. If you change the location of that file, your image will no longer be linked to the document and it will remain blurry. So in order to do that, you want to make sure that your files stay in the same place or that you group them together. For that, you can click on File, Package, click on Package, but it'll ask you to save your document, so you can click on Save. You rename it. It will ask you to name your file, so tutorial, and save it somewhere. I'm going to save it on the desktop. And so if you open that file, if I go on my desktop, I'll see the tutorial folder, and in that folder, I will have my InDesign document saved, the document fonts that I used, and all the links. And the links will be all the PDFs, all the images, all the JPEGs, all the PNGs that you have used in order to keep it linked to the document. Always do that, because if not, you will lose the images, and if you try to print or export as a PDF, it will have blurry images. If I place an image from my desktop, and then change the location of that image to somewhere else, you will see that there's either going to be an exclamation mark or a question mark. If you click on that question mark, you'll be able to relink your document. So you would have to go find it and relink the document. If you click on links and click on each image, it will tell you where your document is located. Over here on Path, it tells me where my document is located and what type of file it is. And so if there's ever a problem, I can find that document and relink it. In order to export your InDesign file into a PDF, you can click on File, Export, and you can choose PDF Print, PDF Interactive, and save it. You can choose to save it as pages or as spreads, whichever one is best for you. And then you click export. Find your PDF over here. If ever something is wrong in InDesign, it will always tell you which error it is. So you can click on error and it will tell you what is wrong. If the text box is too big in relation to the text, you can double click on the bottom right corner and that will reduce the size of your box. You'll notice that in InDesign, if you click on an image, it will tell you when it is at the center of the page by using the pink line, and that goes as well for vertically and horizontally. It will also tell you when two boxes are aligned with the green line. If I create another text, and I want my first text to have the same font and the same size as my second text, what I can do is click on the eyedropper tool, select the font, and then apply it to my other font. And that is really efficient if you don't want to go and change everything one by one. If the box is too small for your text, you'll see a red cross appear here. And if you double click it, it will take the rest of your text and put it into another box so that you can move it and put it somewhere else. InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator go hand in hand because if you take a PDF that was edited in Photoshop or in Illustrator and go back to change that PDF and save it, you won't have to go and re-import the image, but it will update your changes automatically if you save it to the same PDF. For your final deliverables, you will work with this template, and this template will help you explain how you got to your final designs step by step. So you can import images onto your InDesign document, and you can place them in these boxes directly, and all you will have to adjust is the brown box. You want to always maintain shift in order to scale it according to the ratio. The brown box can also be rotated. To adjust to the blue box's boundary. And from this sequence, you can understand the fabrication of the roll from the card. You can add as many steps as you want in order to explain your design. So as you can see, InDesign is a great tool for laying out your work and expressing your ideas, whether you want to show a fabrication sequence or just a presentation.